What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna be going from downtown Los Angeles to Beverly Hills area. I do have to run an errand there. And it's about 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the afternoon, so there's probably gonna be some traffic. Let's see how autopilot does in today's drive. Let's get into the video. All right, so we just got onto the highway. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in autopilot. In terms of what version we're on, this is version 10.2, 2020.28.6, which I believe is the latest version. I haven't had any notifications to download an update yet. And I actually haven't used autopilot in a bit. I haven't really gone on too many long drives. Or when I do, I'm with my girlfriend and she doesn't necessarily like how jerky autopilot is, so she can get motion sickness pretty easily. In terms of the conditions, 89 degrees out, it's pretty hot, pretty much an overcast, so there's not too much sun coming in, so autopilot should have no issue with the cameras. It took that turn right there pretty smoothly. They really haven't perfected the turn, the smoothness of the turn just yet. It still kind of turns in a little bit and then turns out as it goes through the turn. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the left lane, auto lane change pretty quickly, pretty smooth. That's one feature they really have improved over all the different updates, the auto lane change. It goes right into it pretty quickly. It used to hesitate so much. It's pretty smooth and quick now. Okay, so autopilot freaked out a little bit there because the lanes were a little bit wide. It went from 2 to 1 big lane, and then it tried to figure out which lane to get into, so it screwed up a little bit there. We're going about 66 miles an hour. This control is set to 75. Autopilot wants me to get into the left lane, so go ahead and hit the auto lane change, and it went ahead and did it. Looks like there isn't too much traffic just yet, going about 70 miles an hour. Looks like there's a lot of traffic on the way back. But yeah, thanks for watching another video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I picked up this Tesla Model 3 actually a year ago, and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. All right, so we're cruising along here, 63 miles an hour, no traffic just yet. I don't believe we'll really run into any traffic. We've got about another 3.3 miles until we get off to the exit, and then we're gonna see how autopilot does to the local streets to see if there's really been any improvement on that. Wow, this guy is definitely driving a little bit aggressive. I thought he was gonna cut into my lane, but I guess he didn't. It looks like he might be driving a rental car because it does have out-of-state license plates and it's a Chevy. Still cruising in this lane. Looks like there's not gonna be really any traffic coming up. Autopilot wants me to get into the left lane because it thinks it's faster, even though it looks like both of those lanes are going about the same speed. But let's go ahead and hit that and let that go into that lane. Pretty quick there, no issue. Looks like autopilot kind of hovered into the left side of that lane. Looks like there's some cars pretty much going faster than us, but we're just gonna stay in this lane, 75 miles an hour. So there's a little bit of traffic coming up ahead. Looks like some cars are braking. We still have 2 more miles to get to our exit. Looks like autopilot wants to get into this lane now, so let's go ahead and hit the auto lane change. And yeah, pretty smooth. As long as the lanes are pretty open, it's very quick. It really makes that lane change fairly quickly. A little bit of braking there. Ooh, some heavy braking. Autopilot's detecting some of those cars slowing up ahead. So there's definitely a little bit of gap here. The car that was a lane in front of us moved out of the way, but autopilot's slowly closing the gap to this Honda Civic in front of us. Cruise control is still set to 70. Autopilot's just increasing the speed just a little bit. I haven't posted an autopilot video or autopilot driving video in a bit, but hit that like if you enjoy these videos if you want to see more of them. It really helps YouTube algorithm. A little bit of braking there. It's definitely smoother, I would say. The braking for autopilot has definitely gotten smoother. Okay, so now the exit's coming up in 0.5 miles. You're gonna go ahead and hit the auto lane change. And there was a car coming up, but it looks like there was still enough room and it slowed down. The car slowed down so we could easily get into this lane. I don't know why this car is going so slow. I guess, yeah, there's not much of a gap, but there still is a pretty big gap. It looks like our exit's coming up. Still going 65 miles an hour. It's okay, autopilot's slowly slowing down. A little bit of braking. It just reduced the speed to 50 and then 45 miles an hour. Now 40, and now it's just going to go ahead and take this exit. Now it's telling us navigating autopilot is ending, and it should be able to stop, come to a complete stop at this stoplight, because it should detect the cars and the stoplight. And so we should be able to go past this stoplight to the next stoplight, and then we'll make a right, and then it's basically a straight shot all the way to our destination. So we should be able to test kind of how the stop sign and stoplight traffic awareness on local roads, how it feels, if it's gotten better or not. So it looks like it was going to stop at the green light, or it was going to stop at the light even though it was a green light, but it looks like it went through. I pushed on the accelerator button to give it that confirmation to go through the light, and it went through kind of hesitantly. So now it looks like it wants to stop at this traffic light. It's kind of a little bit late, but looks like it's going to kind of go through. It's slowing down a little bit, and we're coming to a complete stop. No? It's going inching up a little bit because the cars are making that right turn. It looks like I'm most likely going to have to turn off autopilot soon. A little bit of jerking there, a double braking. It was like I was swaying a little bit ahead, forward and then back. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off autopilot for now. Once I make this right turn, I'm going to turn autopilot back on, and then we'll see how we get to the destination. Okay, now we're making the right turn. We're on local roads now, so we're no longer on the highway. Usually autopilot takes a little bit of a second to detect the local roads, so it looks like we can go ahead and throw it on because we have the steering wheel icon. And of course, we run into some local traffic. I believe it shouldn't stop at the light if it's a green light. It should just go through. So yeah, so this first green light detected it was green, and it just rolled right through the intersection. No issue at all. An earlier version of this stop sign traffic light control beta, it did stop no matter if it was red or green, and you had to kind of give it that confirmation to proceed through the intersection. But now, once it detects it's green, it just goes through. It looks like it's already detected the next light as a yellow, so it's just going to go ahead and stop. A little bit of heavy braking, and we could still inch in a little bit. Okay, now it's stopped. So it's weird. It does its heavy braking, and then it let goes of the brake, and then comes to like a slow roll, and then stops. So the light turned green, and interesting. So, okay, so if it's stopped and the light turns green, you have to give it that confirmation to go through the light. So that's exactly what happened there. It like inched up a little bit, but it kept flashing and flashing until finally I gave it the accelerator confirmation, and then it went through the light. So right now it's green. It's going to go through the light pretty smoothly. In terms of if this whole system is smoother or not, I'm exactly not too sure if the latest updates have smoothened out. It's still jerky, and I'm probably just getting used to it. That's why it doesn't feel as jerky to me, because I'm understanding what it's trying to do during these certain scenarios. Okay, so it's a green light. It's going through. Just cruising along, following this car in front of us, 26 miles an hour. It is asking for a lot of feedback on the steering wheel to make sure I'm still here. So which means that it's probably not reading the roads too well. And so it looks like basically anytime there's a split in the lanes for the cross traffic, that's when autopilot wants me to kind of give it that engagement on the steering wheel. But besides that, it's pretty much smooth until we kind of cross those areas, which is interesting because it doesn't ask that for the intersections when you drive through those areas. Yep, there it is again. It wanted me to give feedback in that gap right there. But we're coming to a stop. This one was a little bit smoother. It just braked a little bit, and then it kind of inched forward. And now it's accelerating. That acceleration right there was pretty hard, pretty sudden. Oof. Okay, so that car just cut us off, kind of. It came into our lane, but autopilot didn't really detect it until it was really in our lane. So it got really close and then started braking, which I find is a pretty common thing with autopilot. Whether a car is in the lane and leaves before it starts to accelerate, or when a car comes in, it kind of waits that last second and then brakes, which is a little bit too close for comfort for me. But I mean, at least it detects it and stops. So right now the traffic light turned green. We're still stopped. And now it's just asking for my feedback to kind of continue. And okay, so it kind of just went on its own there. So I guess I didn't really need to do anything in that aspect. Okay, so there's the Beverly Hills sign. So we've basically reached our destination. Thanks for watching this video, and please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and comment below on your feedback on the newest update of autopilot, if you feel if it's getting smoother or not with the auto lane change. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.